We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
On first down, it's Darnold. And his first pass is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. The shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll run it here with Hunt. So he got free at 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Chris Jones on the stop.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
On the run, this is Hunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. The 20, 10, for touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there with number 7 on the year. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. That's Samuel, caught left side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
First quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a first down. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, here's Darnold sliding out of the pocket. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
To throw on second down is Darnold. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. It's a first down. Now it's Hines. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Gano the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams. And that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And no room that time. Getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. And got a man. It's Woods. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Wide open receiver complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. This is Hunt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
Okay, no score on that play. But this...
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And out come the Eagles. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A 1st down throw, Darnold. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They run with Hines. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Watch him now, Barney!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to take a shot for the end. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Sammy Watkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point try good by Gano. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Hunt. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Dayon Buchanan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Jeffrey breaking the tackle. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. On 4th down is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep, Isaiah McKenzie. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. And Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 2nd down, Darnold. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Darnold from the gun. And he's got Moncrief. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16 on 3rd and 16, and that spot moves the chains. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good pickup there of 22. First down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st and 10, Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. Watkins, the intended receiver. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Back to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, it hits Austin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes
now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Woods, the intended receiver. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. First carry for Central Florida alum, Latavius Murray, across the 30 to the 31-yard line. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the second quarter in Detroit. And that one a 2-touchdown advantage now for the Seahawks. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll set up a throw. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Frank Clark in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The Bucs on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Gone!
They'll look to throw here. And this one is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script? And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, Murray. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Gun! Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. The shotgun snap for Darnold. High throw, but he makes the catch. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They run again with Hunt. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They're going to look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. They run again with Hines, and he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the first. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. To throw is Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a 3rd-day selection. Anyone after the 4th round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Alshon Jeffrey, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return, it's McKenzie. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Just don't want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
From the 50, it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And this is caught by Watkins. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Back in that Philly, here we go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Darnold down to throw. Flushed out right. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles are back within a score. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession of the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Hunt. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. It's
a gain of 5, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Hey, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Hunt, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he's got some space here. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one 28 yards on the ground. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make it...
Oh, no, he lost the football. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Over! Take 4. No. Check. Patriot!
Here's Hunt. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They run with Hunt, and he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip. Try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. One last throw down for Darnold. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Buccaneers, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.